So film shoots happen in all kinds of weather. Could be raining, could be snowing, could be really, really hot, could be really, really cold. Either way you look at it, before you leave your friggin' house, make sure you know the weather, because there are some people who just don't take, you know, the common sense. They don't have the common sense to check the weather, and then they're uncomfortable all day, and then the ADs, key PAs, or whatever have to worry about that PA being drenched, have to worry about them freezing to death, or you have to worry about putting a certain PA in a certain spot so they don't have to be inconvenienced by the weather because they weren't prepared for it. Now, I will let you know that people take note of crew members and of PAs, and this goes for like crew-wide. Like, they take note, like your, you know, department heads, they take note of who's prepared and who's not. You know, if it's raining, have your rain gear ready. Have your, like, you know, your jacket that's rainproof, you know, rainproof pants. Like, all of these things, like, matter. Because you don't want to be walking around wet for, like, 10 hours. Who the frig wants to do that? I know I don't, and it's uncomfortable because sometimes the weather is unpredictable, but people carry backpacks on them for a reason. Have an umbrella ready. Just, you know, take one of those super small ones. I have a super small umbrella. It's like this big. It cost me like $9. It's like guaranteed for life or whatever. But you know what? It helps. I'm not drenched. And I've had to like loan my stuff out to other PAs because it's like, fuck, like, okay, I know they're going to get drenched. So here, take this because I know I have extra. Like, I'll have rain gear on, but then I'll have an umbrella, and I don't really need the umbrella, so I loan it. So it's always good to have, you know, extra things on you because that's a good way to network because they're going to remember that you helped them out, you know. And plus, just, I mean, if you can help someone out, just help someone out, just as a human being. So there's going to be times during the day where I have this issue where I am told something to do, and I think it's completely fucking stupid, and I have this thing that goes off in my head. I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense, but they want you to do it anyways. Really, really annoying, and you have to get over it. That's all I'm gonna say. You have to get over it. Whatever they tell you to do, just do it with a goddamn smile and be happy about it, because it just makes their day easier. You're not giving them attitude. It's not weird and awkward, because a lot of this is about like being a person they want to be around, because if they want to be around you, they'll hire you more because it makes their day better and easier. I used to always have to do the film drop on this one show, and I'm like, that means I'm not on set. No, okay. And if I'm not on set, I can't prove myself that I can take on more responsibility and blah, blah, blah. It's the little things they're going to ask you to do, and if you can handle the little things with no problem, they're going to give you more and more and more things. Just take every task as a test, no matter how small, and that is probably the best advice I could have gotten. But I have like a major attitude problem sometimes. I have a problem with authority, and I know that, and that's probably why I've lost a few, you know, opportunities, because I'm just like, what? Like, this is fucking dumb. I wouldn't say that. I would be thinking it. And I have a very expressive face, and I can't really hide how I feel. So it's hard for me to just kind of hide my, you're fucking stupid look. The film drop is a major, major responsibility, and if you're asked to do the film drop, it's a big deal, because that is the footage that they just shot for that morning or that night. I mean, it was really weird. This one time I had a film drop, and they're like, okay, bring it back to set. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Normally the dailies are what, after the film drop, the editing studio, whoever has that footage, they make it into DVD, so production, UPMs, and everyone, producers and stuff, they can watch what happened the day before or the morning of or whatever. So those are called the dailies, or the day before. And they wanted the dailies back on set, which was really weird. Should have went to the office, and then, I don't know, I was led astray by my key PA. I don't want to talk about that, only because I was like, this is so stupid. But I did what I was told to do, and then I was like, so sometimes you have common sense, and you're like, wait a minute, I should be doing this, but they told me that, and then in the end, you're right anyways. But they don't care about that. They don't care if you're right or not. People have massive egos in the film industry. Just remember that. Like, just don't go head to head with people ego-wise. It's just not good. It's never, never good. Start work is very, very important, and I mentioned this before. Do not wait until the last minute of your first day to do start work. It takes like a good half hour to sign all that paperwork, and the paperwork PA will love you better if you have all your start work done, so they can get started on, you know, what they need to do with your start work. So I would say, if you can get start work, find the paperwork PA. If they're around, don't go bugging people for it, but if it's around, or maybe the start work will most likely be in the brick box. Now, the brick box has a lot of paperwork in it, hot and cold bricks, aka batteries for the walkies. And start work packets are usually like a good, not about that thick. Sometimes they're thicker, sometimes they're smaller, it depends. But they're pretty thick, and it'll say non-union Startwork. And if you are non-union, you're gonna need that. And if you're a PA, you're non-union. So just remember to get your Startwork done before they wrap you out. Lunch is a good time. When you're on Firewatch is a good time. If you're doing like a really boring lockup, keep it on you, and then do it when you know they're not rolling and they're just setting up or something. When you know you're just kind of out there, not really needed at the time. Your lockup's not ready to be locked up. Okay, so I mentioned Firewatch, and some people don't know what Firewatch is. So here's a scenario: everyone goes to lunch, and we're still at that location, right? So that means equipment's out everywhere. Sometimes inside or outside, sometimes both. And they need someone to watch that equipment. So, and they need to make sure no one messes with it, pedestrian-wise. Like some random's gonna come in there and start stealing shit or messing things up, who knows? So they need someone to watch it. 1 or 2 to 4, depending on the location, 2 to 4 PAs. So that's a Firewatch. So, and it's really, really boring. While everyone else is going to lunch, you usually kind of do it in shifts. Some key PAs, if they're nice, they'll do that. Others, they just don't give a damn. They'll just make you do Firewatch for the whole lunchtime and have someone bring you lunch, and it's really just not as great. So the last thing I'm going to cover is it's really hard when you're on a new show. And as an additional, if you keep being an additional on the same show, great, because that means you're going to know the crew members and the key people that you need to know. You know people's faces. And that is so important, because your key PA will say, where is the DP? And if you don't know the DP's face, then then it's like, what do you do? And it's really hard, because the expectations of you are that you should know everyone's face. The best thing you can do is start to memorize people's names. Ask your other PAs like who is who, without, because you don't want to ask your key PA, because he or she has a million things running through their head and they ain't got time to tell you who's who. Know who the director is. And sometimes they'll be nice about it, because say like you're on a new episode and you have a new director, and they'll be like, hey, the director has blonde hair, she's she's kind of short, whatever, and she needs this, that, and the other, get it to her as fast as possible. So try to get to know crew members as fast as possible, like the best boy, the DP, the director, producers, writers, people who are head of hair and makeup, people are, wardrobe, no props, but you know who the people are in certain departments. And as soon as you're on set more, you'll know by what they touch, what department they're in. It's really, it's just really fast picking up. Just be really, really observant. That's probably the number one thing to get you, better at being a PA, is being really, really observant and just taking it all in and remembering. When you're on a new show, it's really, really tough, because I've been on new shows and I'm like, I don't know who anyone is. I barely even knew the person who hired me, but luckily, like their Facebook picture or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, that looks like that guy. I have no idea. It was a lot of information. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'm happy to help anyone with any type of production questions. And that's it. I shall see you guys next time.